Ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is because it is in fact my favorite time of the week. That means it's time to save some money on some great Switch and Nintendo Switch 2 games, both digital and physical. And a new Nintendo Eshop sale has officially started, and there are some fantastic deals that you don't want to miss. So let's go ahead and get right into this video. So yeah, as you can see, I'm in a hotel again. Last eShop sale video, we were on vacation, and now we're on like a mini 2-day vacation technically. So I'm in another hotel, you know, but these deals don't stop, and I love making these videos, so that's why we're here. So before we get started, if you look right there, there's in fact a winner of a Nintendo Eshop gift card, which is pretty cool stuff. But if you also look right here, here's another winner of a Nintendo Eshop gift card. Also pretty cool stuff. If you'd like to have the same opportunity every single week, all you have to do is like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter so we can keep the communities growing and support the community as much as you can. And obviously, no matter where I'm at, when, where, what, who, why, whatever, I will always give back as much as I can. Now let's go ahead and get into these amazing deals. The first game we're talking about today is Outer Wilds, and this is currently on sale for $12.49. That is 50% off on the eShop, and this is the lowest price this game has ever been. You're the newest recruit of Outer Wilds Ventures, a fledgling space program searching for answers in a strange, constantly evolving solar system. Strap on your hiking boots, check your oxygen levels, and get ready to venture into space. Use a variety of unique gadgets to probe your surroundings, track down mysterious signals, decipher ancient alien writing, and roast a perfect marshmallow. This is one of those games that people will say, you know, it's one of the greatest games I've ever played. It's very special. It can get a little emotional. It's a game that kind of like resets itself every time you play. I'm making this sound way more complicated than it is, but really it's a game that evolves and you kind of just figure out what's going on. And it took a while for this to get on the Nintendo platform, so this is a perfect time to pick this one up. Now, a game that I love recommending is Doom, technically like Doom 2016, the reboot or whatever. This is currently on sale for $3.99, and that is 80% off on the eShop. And, you know, sometimes you'll pay $5, $10, $2, whatever for a game, but a lot of times it might be an indie or a game that's like okay. Not only is Doom just one of the best games that ever came to the Switch, and now it's on the Switch too, but it's arguably one of the best ports we ever got on the Switch. And whether you're playing on the Switch, the Switch Lite, whatever, it was so damn impressive. And now on the Switch 2, obviously with boost mode, it's even better. It is non-stop action the entire time. So for $4, man, this is a fantastic pickup. We also have BALATRO currently on sale for the Switch or Nintendo Switch 2. It is $11.99, and that is 20% off on the eShop. So this is a game I was pretty late to playing. It might have been like 6 months or a year after it came out. And it's one of those games where you're like, okay, you guys are kind of forcing it down my throat, so I just want nothing to do with it. But I eventually picked it up, and it almost paid me to say like, yeah, they were right. This game is incredible. It's very, very addicting. It's kind of like a poker roguelite or something where you're just playing poker over and over, and then whenever you finally lose, you start over again, but you get new cards and you're stacking up all these points, and it is a fantastic gameplay loop, and it is the perfect game to own on the Switch or the Switch 2. Now let's talk about a really unique game called Lost Ruins. This is currently on sale for $6. That is 70% off on the eShop, and this is the lowest price this has ever been. Lost Ruins is a 2D, side-scrolling survival action game where you play as a young girl that is awoken in a strange and foreign place without her memories. With the aid of weapons, spells, and tonics, and the guidance of the magical and mysterious Beatrice, you will explore a dark and dangerous world, battle hideous monsters, and topple incredible bosses. I love the aesthetic and art style of this. It's beautiful, but it's almost grimy in a way. Honestly, I'm just a sucker for like this style of game, period. I love 2D side-scrolling action games. There's a million of them, and honestly, a lot of them are pretty good. And this one is fantastic, especially only for $6. Now, I also have to mention the SKYRIM Anniversary Edition and Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition bundle. This is currently on sale for the Nintendo Switch 2 for $53.99, and that is 40% off on the eShop. And this might match the lowest price this has ever been. This is a fantastic deal because Essentially, for $54, not only are you getting the Switch 2 editions of both these games and the Anniversary Edition, which includes like a million pieces of DLC and mods and extra this, that, and a third. These are games that you could play forever and always find something new to do. Like, I'm talking about hundreds of hours in each game easy and still find stuff to do. So I feel like this is a perfect bundle to pick up. If you were picking up any of these games, you would be happy, but both of these in a bundle, that is awesome. We also have Hue currently on sale for $1.99, and that is 80% off on the eShop. This is a fantastic 2D platformer where you're using this color wheel as your main mechanic. It almost seems so simple on the surface, but the way the game flows and just plays, it's just a really fun game to play. This is a game I will always recommend, and it goes on sale pretty frequently, probably like 1 out of every 2 or 3 eShop sales, and it's normally $2. So for whatever reason, if you can't play it now, pick it up sometime in the future. But I think this is a very underrated game that a lot of people would enjoy if they give it a chance, so that's why I'm here to recommend it. Now let's talk about CHASM, which is currently on sale for $2.99. That is 85% off on the eShop, and this is the lowest price this has ever been. This is an action-adventure game in which you play as a new recruit undertaking your first mission for the Gildian Kingdom. Thrilled to prove your worth as a knight, you track strange rumors that a mine vital to the kingdom has been shut down. But what you discover in the mining town is worse than you imagined. The townspeople have disappeared, kidnapped by supernatural creatures emerging from the depths. I've recommended this game multiple times, obviously in eShop sale videos, but I also included it in a hidden gems video like 2 or 3 years ago, and it's a game that has really stuck with me. So for $3, this is a fantastic pickup. Donut Country is also on sale for $3.24. That is 75% off on the eShop, and again, the lowest price this has ever been. This is a story-based physics puzzle game where you play as an ever-growing hole in the ground. You'll meet cute characters, steal their trash, and throw them in a hole. Raccoons have taken over Donut Country with remote-controlled trash-stealing holes. You play as BK, a hole-driving raccoon who swallows up his friends and their homes to earn idiotic prizes. There's a lot of games that have copied the style of gameplay, like truly a bunch of them have copied the same mechanics and the same kind of idea, but Donut Country does it best. This is a timeless game. I know that sounds kind of crazy seeing the gameplay, but I really like this one. I think I played it all the way back in like 2018 or 2019, and it's stuck with me since then. So yeah, this is a great pickup. MIXTAPE is also on sale for $15.99. That is 20% off on the eShop, and this is the lowest price this has ever been. And keep in mind, this is only on the Nintendo Switch 2. I know there was a lot of confusion when the game was coming out because people also thought it was going to be on the Switch, but unfortunately, it only came to the Switch 2. On their last night together, 3 friends embark on one final adventure. Play through a mixtape of memories set to the soundtrack of a generation. It's really a coming-of-age story, you know. If you watch movies from the 90s or 80s like Stand By Me and The Sandlot, I just mentioned this in another video, but those kind of movies is exactly how this game plays. I think it takes place in the 80s if I'm not mistaken, and the whole soundtrack is set around that. It's not the longest game, like 3 or 4 hours max, but it's a game you could play over and over again, and it's more of an experience than a game. So right now, why it's on sale is actually the perfect time to pick this one up. We also have Street Fighter 6 currently on sale for the Nintendo Switch 2 for $19.99, and that is 50% off on the eShop. This is easily one of the best Switch 2 ports we have, one of the best fighting games of all time, and it really is one of the easiest recommendations to make, even if you're not a real fighting game fan. Just because there is so much to do in Street Fighter 6, and the replayability and the online aspect, and then you can get into like the rank system, and there's a story mode. There's just so much going on that it really feels like more than a fighting game. You know what I mean? Like, it's a fighting game, but it just feels like something you really want to invest your time into. And we have the Street Fighter movie coming out, I believe this November, if I'm not mistaken. So Street Fighter is really, besides Mortal Kombat, it's like really the shining fighting game. And the port on the Switch 2 is just so damn good. So for $20, this is a great pickup. Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door is currently on sale physically at Woot for $31.99, and that is 47% off the full price. And this, what are we doing here? This is such a good deal for one of the best RPGs of all time. Technically, since it's from Nintendo and Nintendo's from Japan, technically this is a JRPG. Technically, you know, I always thought the GameCube version was perfect. When they announced this, I said, cool, but do we really need it? Yeah, sure, of course we need something like this. Why would we not want something that is awesome? It is a treat, start to finish. In my opinion, it is the best Paper Mario game of all time. This is honestly, truly in my opinion, probably a top 10 Nintendo game of all time. And I know that's a high accolade to have, but it is just phenomenal. The NPCs and side characters are goofy and weird in this one. The story is charming and also goofy. The gameplay is fantastic. I cannot recommend this game enough. Looney Tunes Wacky World of Sports is currently on sale physically for the Nintendo Switch at Amazon for only $10. And that is 80% off the full price. Am I here to tell you this is one of the best games of all time that you need to play? It's a must play. Any of that? No. It's only barely like on the edge of a good / decent game. But what it is a true physical game that you could add to your collection for $10. And honestly, the case is probably worth $10 by itself. And you know, I'm very nostalgic for anything Looney Tunes, just because it reminds me so much of my childhood. And I do think there is some value here. I thought some of the games were fun and kind of interesting. So it's not anything that you're going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe I played this. But it is a physical game for $10. Assassin's Creed Shadows is currently on sale physically for the Switch 2 at Amazon and Best Buy for $34.99, and that is 42% off the full price. Now keep in mind, even though this is a physical, it is a game key card. But this is a fantastic game that runs incredibly on the Switch 2. Sure, it probably runs and looks better on the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox, and I'm gonna assume it's on PC, but I always say like taking some hits maybe on frame rate or graphics, just because you can have the portability aspect of it. It's always more favorable in my opinion, and the setting in this one is awesome. The gameplay is great. A lot of people, you know, were kind of torn by having two different characters, but I thought it was cool because it gave you two styles of gameplay. And in my opinion, it is easily one of the most impressive Switch 2 games we have. And that's really saying something, you know, when we look at all the Switch 2 ports we have. So $35 I think is a great deal for this. And we have Super Mario RPG physically for the Nintendo Switch at Amazon and Walmart for $32.99, and that is 45% off the full price. Again, in my humble Mr. Robot Joe opinion, I think this is one of the greatest games Nintendo has ever released. Now, I will admit, I only played about an hour of the original one on Super Nintendo, and I thought it was pretty good. I just got distracted. I think I was playing it on like an emulator console. So when they announced this for the Switch, I was like, yes, I finally get to, you know, finish that game. And I'm not even kidding. Not only is the story and the characters and the gameplay and the setting just fantastic, but I think the graphics are some of the best we ever got on the Switch. And some of the cutscenes look like they're straight out of a movie. Man, this is such a good game. It's not the longest game, about 10 hours total, maybe 12 or whatever, but it is truly the definition of start to finish peak gaming. I cannot recommend this one enough. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I know this setting is not ideal, but I still have to make these videos because I love doing it, because I love finding games on sale. You know, it's the best feeling as a gamer. Finding a digital game, a physical game, whatever your preference, finding that game on sale, it's awesome. So I help find you some games today that are on sale that you might be interested in. So in the comments below, let me know what you guys are thinking. Any games you might be picking up, any sales you've seen, any sales I missed, any games you're playing, just let me know. And if you made it all the way to this part of the video, if you could do me a favor, hit a like and subscribe on the way out. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter on the way out, and consider becoming a channel member. You know, I know people say that, but it is truly the ultimate way to support this community. And you guys know me, I'll see you very soon with a new video. Peace.